In this video, I'll be explaining the experiences of First Nations people during the Frontier Wars. I'll describe what life was like before the European settlement, how and why things changed after the British arrived, and what life was like after these changes. I'll also use historical evidence for my explanations. Before European settlement, First Nations people lived in complex, organized societies that existed for over 60,000 years. They were not primitive or nomadic. They had over 500 nations, each with their own languages, laws, cultural practices, and spiritual connections to the countries. Their lives were based on sustainable land management, including spice-stick farming, seasonal hunting, fishing, and gathering. Social structures were strong, with elders guiding law, ceremony, and knowledge. Country was not land. It was identity, family, spirituality, and responsibility. This deep connection shaped every part of their lives. Life changed dramatically after the British arrived in 1788. The main reason was the British itself believed in terra nullius, the idea that the land belonged to no one. This allowed settlers to take land without negotiating or treaties. As the colony expanded, settlers pushed into the indigenous country, clearing land for farms and grazing. This caused conflicts because it destroyed food sources, sacred sites, and traditional pathways. The Frontier War began as First Nation people resist invasion. Leaders like Temulaway, Yagan, and Judge Amara fought to protect their people and country. Historical evidence shows that violence was widespread. The Myall Creek Massacre of 1838 is one documented example where 28 Indigenous people were killed, and it demonstrates the brutality of the frontier conflict. Diseases like smallpox also spread rapidly, causing minor population decline. These changes were not accidental, they were a direct result of colonization and expansion. After the Frontier Wars, life in First Nation peoples were permanently changed. Many communities displaced from their traditional lands and forced into missions or reserves. Traditional languages, cultural practices, and laws were restricted or punished economically. Indigenous people were pushed out of their own land systems and into low-paid labor, or dependency on government rations. Despite this, First Nations cultures survived. Family continued passing down knowledge, joys, and language in secret. Today, Indigenous communities are working to revive culture, protect country, and gain recognition for the Frontier Wars as well as a real part of Australian history. In conclusion, the Frontier Wars were a major turning point in Australian history. First Nations people went from living in strong, self-sustaining societies to facing invasion, violence, and displacement. By using historical evidence and understanding different perspectives, we can recognize the impact of these events and the strength of Indigenous cultures that continue. Thank you, and God bless. Goodbye.